Talking About. I'm John Griffith.
Hi, I'm Cara Kilduff.
And we are joined today by the
Very
incredible...
special
Yes.
guest. Very special. Never been on the show before.
What's your name again?
Who's that special guest?
Tom
today?
Ragu!
I heard somebody special was going to be here. Thank you for having
It's
me.
you.
It's me.
It's you. You.
Me.
Wait, can I ask him a question really quick?
Yeah.
I've been dying to ask you this because I follow you on social media.
Oh.
What are you doing tomorrow night?
I have something very spectacular going on tomorrow.
I know
Do
you
tell.
do.
I'm so excited. I can't even contain myself. But we don't have to talk about it now. We can go through, your whole thing that you have going on, John, and then we can get to, what I have going on.
Well, it's all about everything, and we are live April 17th, 2018.
I was just threatening the guest.
Oh, really? I thought, okay, you weren't talking smack about me?
No, I went like this.
Okay. But there's a whole lot going on in the world. And,
Yes.
we just saw the news before we came into the studio. Barbara Bush has passed away.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably one of the few Bushes that I liked.
You know what? I just got goosebumps. I really am saddened by her death because I think that she was a great American.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all the political differences aside, just a great American, and it's a loss.
Yes, but and to the best of my knowledge, I haven't seen all the reports. As long as if it was quick and without pain, that's a blessing.
Yes.
So I mean, I've seen people slowly wither away and pass, and that's not good for the person or the people around that person. If I hope for her sake and for the family that it was quick and painless, and that she's in peace and the family can come to terms with everything and move forward. So that is what it is, and it is a loss.
Just, I don't know. I always had this impression of Barbara Bush as someone that you do not mess with.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she would call herself the enforcer. She said that she was the enforcer of the family, and all of the children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren feared her.
Seriously?
So despite, the grandmotherly look and the beautiful pearl necklace, she was a tough lady, and
Yeah.
and I respected that.
Okay, yeah. And it's definitely, somebody's got to be the backbone of the family and have some principles and stand up for them.
Yeah. Well, also too, it's part of like when we're starting to lose people from a different era, like people who lived through World War II, and I just feel like they're just different. So it's such, I don't know. I feel it as such a loss when those people are starting to pass away. I mean, they have already started, but it's just anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I was talking about it with a friend. Almost all of the musical influences, or the people that I idolize musically, are gone. You have Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson, Donna Summer, Luther Vandross, David Bowie, Pete Burns. All these people that I grew up with are all gone. It's very. I don't even know, because it's not necessarily all about drug addiction or all about, but
Life.
it's just life. And is that a sign that you're getting old, that all your musical idols that you grew up with are dying?
Shh. No.
We won't admit to that now.
Oh, okay.
But
So then I won't
but
mention that.
Yeah, but I guess it's a rite of passage, and we remember them and we cherish them through their art, and that hopefully will live forever. But I mean, there are things that the coming generation's memory is short, and we have to be the ones who teach them, who's who and what's what.
What, you mean what music was like before auto-tune?
Yes.
Oh.
And sampling and
Ugh.
all these people that are sampled in the stuff that you like now, those are the ones that we listen
Right.
to.
Let me teach you about James Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Exactly. Well, speaking of musical artists, they have put on Broadway, and it's in previews right now, Summer, the Donna Summer Musical.
Yes.
Now, it had a run in La Jolla for about 4 or 5 months at the La Jolla Playhouse, which is, by the way, is a great venue. I performed at the La Jolla Playhouse when I lived in San Diego. Look at us.
No,
You're about ready to explode. Why?
What, because this is the thing that you're doing tomorrow night.
Right. So tomorrow I am going to, matinee, the first of probably many performances that I will see. and I'm seeing, Summer, the Donna Summer Musical. So I'm very, very excited. I
She's
could
like
hardly.
she's your major idol.
Yeah, she was. I fell in love with Donna Summer when I was 6 years old. Yeah, something like that. And from the very beginning, and she was. People, I think, look to music and musical idols and artists, bands, and things of that nature, and to sort of guide them through difficult moments in their life. And for some people, it might be Bruce Springsteen, and for other people, it may be, Bette Midler or Celine Dion. And for me, the artist that was there with me from the very beginning and guided me through the good times, the bad times, the times that I spent overseas in the military, the wonderful times, and like I said, the difficult times. For me, that was Donna Summer.
Okay. Well, her musical journey paralleled your life journey.
Yeah, it
So
certainly.
the two of you were in sync in that certain way.
Yeah, and I saw her in concert 8 times, and so one of the last times that I had seen her in concert was in San Diego, at this place called Humphreys by the Bay, which is an outdoor venue right off of San Diego Bay, and she had this bodyguard who they called Tiny, who was like 7 feet tall and about 400 pounds. And I knew Tiny because Tiny would always see me at the book signings and at concerts. And so I wanted, at that point I never met her. And so I wanted to wait by the bus so that when she came, I could, can you imagine?
But did you meet her?
No, I never met her. I never met her at all, but he said, no, I can't let you wait by the bus. And I said, but is she staying overnight here, or is she, like, I'm asking information like the bodyguard's going to let me know. Like, she'll be out in 15 minutes. That didn't happen. But I waited by the bus, and then I tried to be inconspicuous, and then I came back. But it didn't happen.
You tried to be inconspicuous?
I know. I know. Shocking.
I don't know. For me, the more inconspicuous I try to be, the more conspicuous I get.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now, before we go on, I just want to let you guys know that, yes, I have Sean Hannity as a client of mine. So I just want to
Oh,
let
thank you. Thank you.
I'm a joke
Thank
writer
you.
for Sean Hannity, so anytime he says something completely outrageous or stupid, like every night, I wrote those jokes. So
Okay,
he's a
great.
client of mine.
Thank you for the
Well,
disclosure.
That is responsible reporting to disclose
But I
that
decided
connection.
to disclose it because I didn't want to be.
Yeah, I
Yes,
appreciate that.
Because irresponsible reporting would be not disclosing that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want
Yeah.
it to be anonymous or anything like that.
Yeah.
Because then we would have to go to court, and
We would lose our
I
advertisers.
have
We don't have any. That's the joke.
all of their fan would not watch anymore.
Shut up. Your mom's watching. That's 2.
That's true.
Is she watching?
Yes.
Hi, Mama Ragu.
Don't forget to have dinner. Just kidding.
Oh my God. No, you're not. You're the best.
Thank goodness. But
Yeah.
talking about forgetfulness and the generation not knowing, so I think there was a recent report that you had mentioned the generation of World War II that is dying off.
The greatest generation.
And
What?
yeah.
That's what Tom
Sorry.
Ragu calls them.
Okay, I'm a little overcaffeinated, so forgive me.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
And there was a recent survey, and a high percentage of millennials don't know anything about
Right,
about
like
World War
60
II.
something,
Yeah.
60-something% of millennials don't know anything about American history, geography, or the things that we were taught in school. So I was wondering, I saw this on one of the
What
news
are they
group-
doing in school?
Yeah, what are the
Still
people what do the teachers teach the young people of today in school?
You know what? It's all those standardized tests.
Is that?
I think so.
Because I remember that there was a point where I think it was the 5th or 6th grade where we weren't able to graduate until we had learned the names of all the presidents in order. We were able to identify all the states on the map, and
Know all the capitals of all the states.
right, we had to know all the capitals exactly.
World capitals.
Right.
And there was probably a song for each one.
Well, we did come up with songs to try and remember.
Of course you did. You're like the music man, I swear.
Am I? No.
Yeah, you know a lot about like the music that you love. You know so much.
Well, I love all music. Was reading on the way here, very sadly, that the BB King Grill on 42nd
Is it
Street
closing?
is closing.
Why?
I have no idea. What a great place to see a show. I've been
mean-
there so many times. I've seen so many great people there. I saw Jodie Watley there. It was amazing.
Oh, stop it.
And so many people. And they always had a great Valentine's Day show. And it was really wonderful when they would clear out the seating and they would have standing room only, or when they would have a dance act, you know.
Why are they closing? Did they jack up the rent or
I have
something?
no idea.
probably it. I
That's
mean-
probably it. But
That seems to be happening all over the city, and which is, yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about it, but they're proposing a vacancy tax now for all these landlords who are just keeping these storefronts and places vacant until they can get their rent, and they're writing it off and not making anything. So the vacancy tax is hoping to counteract that and keep it down within the city of New York.
that's terrible.
That is such a shame.
They'd rather have their store closed than a business.
Because
they're
they can write it
greedy.
off
Ugh.
and wait for the bank to move in, or wait for the Starbucks to move in.
Right, somebody
But-
who can afford
yeah,
a high rent.
Yeah,
I see.
but up in the 60s, I've seen a Starbucks that was priced out. Yeah, it's across the street from a place that I go to a lot, and there was always a line to the door. It was a double storefront, and then all of a sudden it's gone.
That happened to the Starbucks I used to go to on the Upper West Side on 67th and
That's the same one.
Columbus.
Yeah.
Oh man, so pissed that they closed it, and all the people that live in the neighborhood were like,
Yeah, that was a double storefront, and it was always
Yes.
busy. It was always jammed to the
Always.
hilt.
always busy. Because ABC is right across the street, so people would just, you could see, what's that guy's name? The one with the big head, David Muir. I'd see him walking around the neighborhood. He's got a very big
Yeah,
head.
and the Eyewitness News Studios on the corner.
And the littlest Cuomo, what's his name? Which one's that?
Chris Cuomo?
Yeah, Chris Cuomo.
I love him.
Yeah, he's pretty handsome.
No, I love him. I love him.
Okay.
I love him. And doesn't Regis and Kelly have their studio nearby?
Kelly and Ryan are right across
Yeah.
the street.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The View is right across the street.
Yeah.
The Chew is right around, and the game shows shoot around the block.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's a big, hot area over there.
Yeah. So why would they close? Oh, because the
Yeah, the rent.
rent doubled.
So they doubled the rent, and
Yeah.
a big company like Starbucks just didn't want to pay it.
Yeah. And now there's
So
like,
so what do you think is going to
they
go
split
there
it.
now?
They split it into two stores. There's something
I
new on
see.
the corner, some little boutique,
some
and then
stupid boutique. I don't like it.
okay, I've never been in. I can tell you.
I won't. I refuse.
I go sit in the audience at my talk shows, and then I go home because that's my new hobby. It's just like
So
going to talk shows.
I see on Facebook, because I follow you on Facebook, that you do go to Kelly and Ryan all the time. So how do you think that Ryan is doing? How's she
think-
doing?
I think it was a bumpy start, but I think he's adjusting.
Yeah.
In my opinion, as an outside observer who doesn't speak to him or really know him, I don't think he was comfortable living in New York at first, and I think he's adjusting to that
Yeah.
and getting used to the city and his surroundings.
I think it was a good choice. I think that he's likable enough to be able to.
Is he?
Talk about nothing for an hour.
Well, I mean, the first 20 minutes, yeah. But yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's mindless fun, and it doesn't pretend to be more than it is.
listen, I do a 2-hour show of just mindless nonsense. You know.
No, it's not. You shut your mouth.
Shut your face.
Shut your face.
No, it's so our show, the TGIF with Tom Ragu, we just did our 3-year anniversary show.
Has it 3
Which
years
I can't
already?
believe it's been 3 years, because I distinctly remember it being just a few months. And I remember auditioning, and it
That
seems
is,
like,
congratulations.
Thank you.
That
Yeah.
is so crazy.
but it seems like a few months ago we just started, and it's 3 years.
That's amazing.
It
Couple weeks
goes so
ago.
fast.
Wait,
Yeah.
you have to the name of the show and where they can listen to it, please.
So the name of our show is TGIF with Tom and Laura, and we're on BBox Radio, BBOXradio.com, every Friday afternoon from 12 noon to 2 p.m. Eastern.
In Brooklyn.
Right, and we're live from Brooklyn, from Dumbo, Brooklyn, and it's a good time. You know, this week we have comedian Joan Weiss-Blatt with us, and we always have like a theme, a musical theme. So we're doing Whitney Houston classics this week. another voice that we lost. I mean, that was a big loss for
a lot of
for
people.
music. Yeah.
If,
But we always do old school, like older type
Yeah.
of, music, like Michael Jackson, music from the 70s, music from the 80s, Donna Summer.
Chauncey failed that Madonna quiz
What do you mean?
the last time I was on the show.
Right. Yeah.
He's the
The Madonna Authority.
Our sound engineer.
the sound engineer, and he was loves Madonna, and then so Tom had these questions like, oh, okay.
These obscure questions
Oh, they were
that I
so
don't even think Madonna knows the answer to them. Like, what's your
funny.
mother's middle name? How the hell would I know?
And poor Chauncey was standing there like,
Yeah, Chauncey, and I would feel the same way. They've done a similar quiz with me one time with a Donna Summer quiz, and I got 9 out of 10 of them correct, which is okay. But I was so upset about the one that I didn't get.
Mm-hmm.
But Chauncey, I mean, didn't answer all the questions. I love him though. I love Chauncey. Chauncey's such a great
he
part of
can
the show.
live.
No, Chauncey's such a great part of the show, and we're lucky to have him. He's been with us for 2 years now, and it was a kind of a rocky beginning, trying to find a great sound engineer and somebody that would make it seem like just a seamless conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, chemistry is
It's a
very
good
important.
fit.
yeah, and Chauncey is that person, and of course Laura Spaeth, my co-host, and
She's funny.
and
Yeah.
funny lady, and she just recently had her one-woman show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so it's great. We're having a great time.
When are you gonna premiere your one-man show? Cause you have stories, Mister. I would go see that.
But it's just trying to get it. It's not as easy as it seems. I mean,
No.
you really have to. And even if you're a comedian and you have an act that consists of, like, let's say 45 minutes, doing a one-person show is different than stand-up, because there has to be
A through line.
a through line, and there also has to be some sort of cohesive and moving from one moment to another, and then comedy. It escapes me what they call that when you use comedy as a tool to. I can't remember. Which is why, ladies and gentlemen, I haven't done my one-man show, because I can't remember things. Kidding.
No, I think I could see it. I could see it happening.
Well, when because I used to have the Tom Ragu comedy review over at Stonewall, and that ran for 5 years. And when I closed that show, I considered doing a one-person show. But
You
then,
should.
But then the opportunity for the radio show popped up, and then and I decided to go with that. But I was actively planning. But like I was saying earlier, you have to have a little bit of drama. You have to have a little bit of laughter. You have to know.
We laughed, we cried, we bedazzled.
Right. Exactly. And so I don't know what I would call it. The vagina monologues are taken. So.
Stupid.
Oh, good Lord.
What would we call it?
We could think about it.
I'm hungry. Starring Tom
The
Ragu.
Tom Ragu story.
I'm hungry. Starring Tom Ragu. That would be a good one.
I'll throw it out onto Twitter and see what you get.
Yeah, ask the people on Twitter.
No.
Don't do that?
No,
Is that what you're saying?
Matthew. No.
Yeah. Twitter loves me.
Look at it.
Twitter loves me.
What's your name on Twitter?
Tom Ragu Comedy is my personal one, and then the show one is TGIF_Bbox. And so
You know what one of my favorite parts of the radio show is when you read the listener mail.
yeah.
Somebody had asked Chauncey, wanted to send Chauncey a dick pic.
Not they wanted to send it, they sent it.
Oh, they sent
Yeah,
it.
I get we get about, I would say, like 18 to 25 email through the website every week, And usually it's, oh, I love your show, oh, you're so funny, or I like you, I don't like Laura, or I like Laura, can't stand you, Chauncey's okay.
But they're
Thanks.
responding, which is
Yeah, listen, I'm happy that people are listening. I mean, we have many, many, many listeners from all over the world. I mean, we get mail from England and Australia and all over Europe and all over the country. So I'm happy that people are listening. But we always get invariably, it's like hate mail. Like someone took the time to log onto the website, to go to the mail section, to formulate these hateful, resentful thoughts, to put it down in cohesive sentences, send it, and then go on with their day. And I just wonder, like, I've never done that in my life.
No.
Like, I have never sent a piece of hate mail or a negative comment on social media in my life.
I
don't think.
I can't imagine you doing that.
Well, I was listening to your show the other day, and then when young Lady Gaga just sent. Like I don't understand.
Hate mail follows you. What was that girl?
Yeah, God, that was ages ago. I'll remember her name when I first started.
Okay.
Well over a decade ago. There was Lori Carabello. Lori. Well, there was a person out there that. So I had a YouTube video. Oh, now I'm forgetting the story. I had a YouTube video where I talked about.
Something about penguins.
Yeah, I talked about penguins or something like that, and I said that penguin, something about eating penguin burgers or something like that, but it was a joke, and I looked on her. Her name was let's just call her Lori Carabello because that's her name, and so I'm curious about who this person. Oh no, it was about Kirstie Alley. That's right.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. So back then, Kirstie Alley was lying to America, letting people believe that she lost 75 pounds.
It was how she was standing.
Right. And she went, and I had a whole thing in my act, which, by the way, was so funny. Ladies and
It
gentlemen.
was funny.
It was comedy gold, and by gold I mean hack. But
No, it was funny.
but I don't believe that Kirstie Alley lost the 75 pounds. She went on Oprah. She did a whole thing with Jenny. Was it Jenny Craig?
I think so, yeah.
And she was just standing differently because she was doing the sideways elongation thing, right? Now, anybody with connected brain cells like myself would be able to figure that stuff out, but not Lori Carabello from Pennsylvania. So she decided she was going to write me from Stroudsburg. I'll never forget where she was from. I hope you're watching, Lori, because I have, worked my way up to the middle. And so she writes me, don't make fun of Kirstie Alley. She's wonderful. She's amazing. She's a comedy treasure. You look like you eat a cheeseburger every day. I'm like, first of all, how does she know me? Second of all, a cheeseburger? I've never had anything in my whole entire life. And this was like a thing.
Didn't you write back to her like that?
That is exactly what I said to her. And then somebody recorded it and put it on YouTube. And so now it was part of my comedy act because I thought, I have to write this down. What did she say? And so then it's on YouTube, and then all these the comment section on YouTube. Now this was before people really were nasty and negative on social media. This was like a brand new thing. And so I'm sort of like a pioneer on receiving the negative comments and the negative, hateful, resentful things that she said to me. I have a newfound respect for her. So she said all these crazy things to me. You look like you're terrible. How could you say these things about Kirstie Alley, et cetera, et cetera. So I went onto her YouTube page to see what she has, what she's got going on, what she likes, what her interests are. And so it's just penguins walking, penguins walking, falling, getting up, penguins helping, penguins with an egg on their on their feet, walking across, falling, not being able to get up. The baby penguin and the egg dies. All these terrible videos about penguins. And so I wrote back to her, and something to the effect of, you know, you're right. I should not talk about Kirstie Elliott because she is a national treasure, and you happen to be wrong. I don't eat a cheeseburger every day, but I do eat a penguin burger every day. So, and you know, it was moderately funny. But that was like the first piece of hate mail that I've ever received, and it has gotten progressively more hateful as the time has gone on. Because now when you have whether it's a television program like you guys have or a radio program like I have, people feel like they can just, you know, say whatever they want
Oh, yeah.
to you.
Oh yeah, I don't forward you some of the comments. I mean, if you look at the YouTube page, you would see that how many people think that we're blathering idiots.
Oh, good.
Well, that, ladies and gentlemen, is a true statement. But no, so we have a telephone set up in the radio studio now, and I always wanted to avoid taking phone calls. You know, because that's live on the air, and you know, I read the mail that comes in from the listeners. I don't know what they were thinking, that they thought that I would want to hear from them live. So we did it once.
What happened?
So ring, and Chauncey picks it up, and the person on the other end was like, "I'm a lawyer." And I was like, "Hi, you know, what's your name? Where are you calling from?" You know, like. Which, by the way, I didn't even know where that came from. I think I saw Larry King live one time, and he was like, "Where are you calling from?"
Yeah.
And so I was like, "What's your name? Where are you calling from?" I was like, "I'm calling from Manhattan. I'm a lawyer." He said, "Your show stinks." Just like, okay, is there anything that you want to?
Could you be more creative?
Can you be more specific? Like, what specifically stinks about the program that I've worked on for 4 days this week so far? And you know, all they wanted to let me know was that they were a lawyer, that they didn't like the show, that why don't you talk about some other ridiculous topic? They said something along those lines. So needless to say, Jonathan, we never did phone calls again.
I can understand that, and yeah, so when we have like a medical topic or something like that, or Race Eddie's here, then we'll do calls. But to avoid situations like that, it's just not worth the aggravation half the time.
Right.